Tell us about your squad for the weekend, David. How do things stand with Ryan Fredericks, first and foremost?
It looks like he's obviously got a hamstring injury, which is going to keep him out for somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks, is our understanding. I've spoken to him this morning and he seems to think that he feels quite good and he doesn't think it'll be as long as that, so I hope he's right.
And other players, Mikel Antonio, Jack Wilshere?
Yeah, Mickey Antonio's still feeling his hamstring. He's not available for the game. We were hoping to have him back, but not quite ready yet. Jack Wilshere, I've seen in the gym and has been outside a little bit as well, so he's working towards coming back. I couldn't give you an exact date for that at the moment.
And Andre Yarmolenko?
Yeah, Andre's gone for another injection in his thigh, so we're waiting on him returning back to see how his injection's gone, but we're hoping he's not going to be too long.
Updates on your backroom team. Stuart Pearce said that his return was blocked. Was that a disappointment to you?
No, well, I have to say Stuart Pearce was done a great job here with me and I was pleased to have him. He was a big addition to the staff. But Stuart's got quite a few things on. He's got quite a lot of things on in his own business as well. And in the end, we've just chosen and decided that it would be better if we do something else.
So, on another front, is there a possibility of Joe Cole joining you?
Well, we're looking at the team we're bringing in at the moment. I couldn't say if I'm going to have it all together just now. It might be the summertime before I get all my staff together. But no, there's several people, obviously looking for a position, and there's also some other people who we have in mind as well. But hopefully over the coming weeks we'll get round to speaking to them. But we have been extremely busy, I have to say, in the last week and a half since I've come in. So it's not easy to get all those jobs done right away.
Is Joe on the list?
He's one of quite a lot of people who we've talked about and who we're considering.
Listen, how do you look on the match this weekend? Well, this Friday night.
Well, first and foremost, an incredibly difficult game, but I think we've just started to gain a little bit of confidence from our results. I hope we can show that in our performance. I think we've done a really professional job at Gillingham in the Cup to get through, and I thought we played well against Bournemouth, scoring 4 goals, and not conceding any for us was really important. But we'll be put to another test against Sheffield United. The manager and Sheffield United have done remarkably well, and it'll be tough.
And in terms of bringing new players in, you indicated that it's something you want to do. How do things stand with Darren Randolph?
Well, Darren's a goalkeeper we've identified we'd like to bring, and at the moment he's just carrying a bit of an injury that he's had for several weeks, and we have to make sure that injury's completely healed. So that's where the bit of delay is coming at this moment in time.
Are you still hopeful that will happen?
I'm very hopeful it will happen, yes.
And what about Gedson Fernandes?
Well, I think West Ham have been linked with just about every player in the country, and I'm here a week and a half, so it's interesting. But I think that's the norm for here. Quite often we are linked with a lot of players. We won't be bringing a bundle of players in, but obviously we'd like to add to the squad if it can. He's one name which we're talking about.
We're hearing that actually a loan deal has been agreed. Is that your understanding?
I couldn't tell you since I've come in from training this morning and come to the press conference. Maybe something has been done, but I couldn't confirm that at the moment.
Is he a player that you think would be a good fit?
Well, I think more importantly he's a young player with potential, probably more so for the future, and he's got good pedigree. So from that point of view, I think I'd like to bring young players in for the future, and young players who I think we can look to build and get a nice strong young team, but also I have to be very wary of. I also need players who are ready for now and can feature in the first team as well.
Thank you. Hey. Lauren.
Hi there.
Do you ever worry that the new manager effect will ever fade like it seems to have done at clubs such as Spurs?
Well, I think that when you come in, a new manager does take time, and I don't know if I would call it a new manager effect. I think it takes a new manager time to to implement what he wants to do, find out enough about the players. And I think when you come in mid-season, it's not easy to actually get a handle on things very quickly. But let me tell you, to get some wins under your belt as a new manager is really helpful. But ultimately, you probably wouldn't have got the job in the first place if there wasn't some difficulties or some problems. And obviously we have to try and make sure that when they do come up, we're able to cope and do something different.
And did you see the success of Sheffield United coming?
Did I see
Did you see the success coming?
I have to say, I didn't see it coming immediately in the Premier League, but I've got to say I shouldn't have been surprised because the manager's done a brilliant job. They've come in with momentum. They all know what's expected of them. You know, you have to give them great credit, the players themselves. They've all come up a lot of them from the lower leagues and shown that they can play in the Premier League. But I think that comes from having a really good team and for me, having a really good manager who they all know what's expected of them.
Do you know Chris Wilder well?
I know Chris quite well. I've admired what he's done. I think that he's coming through the leagues as well. I quite enjoy seeing managers who have to earn their stripes and have to prove themselves in the lower leagues, and they move up and then they do it again and they go again. So I think it's not a one-off, it's not a fluke. And going back to your very first question, and that's why in a way we shouldn't be surprised how well Sheffield United have done.
Thank you. Cameras off.